How's everybody doing? I just wanted to get on here real quick. Actually, today is Monday, and remember, always be moving. As you can see, I've just listened to actually a motivational YouTube video, and it was pretty powerful. And actually, one takeaway from the video is if you just read the comments above, which is probably one of the reasons why you click this video, is you do not have to be great to get started. But you do have to be great, or in order to be great, you have to start. So whatever it is, hello Anna, how you doing? Whatever it is that you want to do, whatever it is that you are thinking about doing, why are you waiting to do it? In order to accomplish that goal, you actually have to get started. Sitting there doing nothing each and every day and wondering about if you get started, when you get started, that actually does nothing for you. If you can look back, I was just thinking about when I first started working in the lab. I was formerly a lab technician. Straight out of college, I have a biology degree. And my first job out of college was actually, it was a job at a steel company. So yeah, from biology to making steel on the production line. I was not I was not in the lab or whatever. But the thing is, I put out so many resumes, sent out so many resumes. I filled out so many different applications and everything. And then I was like, man, I have to find a job. I have to get a job somewhere. So I went and got a job at a steel company. And just all of a sudden, one day, somebody called me out of the blue. I guess maybe it probably took maybe about 4 or 5 months for this temp agency to call me back, which I didn't get a job immediately, obviously. So I graduated from college and then pretty much put in a whole bunch of resumes. So I was without a job for a while. So it was probably maybe a 4-month time span where I wasn't working at all when I graduated from college. And yeah, this is for you college grads out there too. Just because you have a degree does not mean that you are automatically guaranteed a job in your field once you graduate, just to let you know that. So that's why a lot of people are actually going to different trades. And obviously, yes, this is actually a trade online. So learn how to use social media platforms to your advantage. But the situation with that was just out of the blue. Well, I sent out a whole bunch of resumes and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, somebody called me out of the blue. I'd just been working at maybe this steel company for like a month. And this temp agency called me and they said, look, we need you to start work tomorrow. I was like, well, I have a job. I need to give them a 2-week notice. They say, come on. They said, you have a biology degree, you're working at a steel company on the lines. They said they pretty much expected you to leave. They said either you want to take this job or you do not want to take this job. And obviously, in order, my whole point of this situation is obviously, yeah, I took the job, and that's kind of how, I started working from lab to lab. And the purpose of this video is, in order for me to have gotten that job, I had to actually start putting out resumes. And I actually had to make, because I guess it's just in my personality to actually close things out appropriately and correctly, because you never really want to burn any bridges. Pretty much, if you just quit one day, more than likely the company's not going to hire you back. So that was my mentality, and that's what I was thinking. So I did actually end up quitting that day. I called them, I think it might have been that night. I might even have left them a voicemail. And it was like, look, I got another job. It's in the lab. It's like, I hope you understand, and stuff like that. But the thing is, and then I want to touch on the fact of my first time in the lab. I was pretty much, college really doesn't prepare you for the real world regardless. Even if you're in your field, you still have to learn specific things at specific companies. Even if you've been in the field doing the same type of trade or the work that you've been doing for year after year. Once you move on to another company, you're still going to have to learn how they do things and the process of them doing things. So I just thought about, the first time that I was in the lab, I actually had to start, pretty much getting used to working in the lab, running on different HPLCs, running on different, GCs. If you guys don't know what that is, just go ahead and look it up. I don't want to get too technical on you guys or anything, but you can just look it up on Google, which pretty much that's not the point of this conversation. But the point is you have to get started, because I know that there's a lot of people, it may not even be on my feed. Obviously, right now I'm live on Facebook. But somebody somewhere needs to hear this video, whether it's you, whether it's somebody share it with a friend or something that's going through this. Actually, there's a lot of people out there that not even necessary, because I'm seeing a lot of hiring signs everywhere. I'm seeing hiring signs pretty much everywhere I go down the street. So there's jobs available, but I know that certain people, or some people, even myself, you're still trying to figure out, you're trying to find yourself. So but the thing is, in order for you to find yourself, you have to do something. I mean, you can't just sit around at home wondering and thinking and writing all day. Yes, those things are good, but you also have to put forth an action. For an object at rest stays at rest. Yes, and obviously, yes, writing is an action, but I mean, you still have to get up, get out of the house, and you have to move. How can people, pretty much, well, I guess you don't have to get out of the house now, because you have platforms like this on social media where you can actually just talk and give your voice can be known. But in order to network and actually get in front of the right people, you actually need to somehow introduce yourself to people. So the easiest, well, I won't say the easiest way, but one way is, to do videos like this, put them online, go live and all that stuff. Another way is actually to get out of the house and actually start meeting people. So that is a good thing. So just to let you know, and I guess as far as, just being great. When I first started in the lab, I was not great whatsoever. I mean, it was hard for me to run any of the instruments. It was hard for me to pretty much do anything. So whatever you're just getting started at, understand that it's going to take time. You're going to have to perfect the craft, put in the time. So yeah, the timeline can be reduced if you do spend, hours and hours each and every day, reducing the amount of sleep and everything that you get. But the situation is, you still have to put forth the time. You're going to have to put forth some effort. You're going to have to study. You're going to have to work. It's not easy doing whatever it is you're doing. You say, well, Mike, you're an entrepreneur. I haven't made, pretty much a ton of money online yet. But, and I say yet because it's bound to happen. I know it's going to happen. And already some things are in place for that to happen. But the situation is, even if you're just getting started in your career, or even if you're late in life in your career, the situation is you do not have to accept the current situation that you're in. The situation that you are in can change. You just have to believe it can change. And you have to actually just get started. Whatever it is you want to do, write it down. And then go after that goal. Whatever you need to do, whatever task, whatever skills you need to acquire, do that to accomplish a goal. You're going to say, well, it's going to take time. Yes, it's going to take time. I just said, pretty much it has to take time. Whatever you're doing, think about the first time you started doing the job that you're doing, whatever it is. I mean, whether you are even a secretary. I mean, I just took, whether you're a janitor. If you're a secretary, you have to learn pretty much the personalities of the people that you're working with. You have to learn when to send what email, what time to send the email. You have to, pretty much figure out the proper procedure for answering the phone. But, your first day on the job, obviously, you had no recognition. You had no knowledge of what you needed to do to actually perform your job. But then, if you stay on the job 4 or 5 years, obviously, yeah, you're great at what you do. Well, you went from day 1 to 5 years. So obviously, yeah, that took time. Even if you're a janitor, you got to figure out where you need to clean up, what trash cans you need to empty, anything like that. You have to learn all this stuff. And it takes time to learn that. So understand that it takes time. And obviously, yeah, I have a lot of social media marketing agency owners in my group. I had a lot of entrepreneurs. I have a lot of people who are doing things online. Think about the first time you ran a Facebook ad. You had no idea what the Facebook, I guess the business manager looked like, the ads platform. Excuse me. But you know, you had no idea what that looked like originally at first. I know I didn't. But then you had to learn. You had to, and not only that, you had to learn how to what ads to kill, what ads to scale. Then, you know, if you're an affiliate marketer, you had to learn what affiliate products are best to sell. You had to figure out how to sell those products. But I just wanted to get on here just to let you guys know, just get started. If you want to be great, make sure you get started. So, and I want to give a shout out to my group and the entrepreneurs who I have interviewed, the online entrepreneurs who actually just got started. And because they got started, because they took the initial step, they are actually, you know, at a level where they want to be. At least, you know, a level that they never really thought they were at. Hello, Angela, how you doing? I don't know why Facebook did not pop this up on here, but I saw you gave a like. Oh yeah, and we got some news for you too, Angela. I think you'll probably be pretty excited. I don't know if I want to share it yet. I think I might want to do that with my wife, but it's not really set in stone yet. I don't even know if you're still on here listening, but it might. It kind of correlates with your goals as well. But yeah, so guys, just get started and make sure that pretty much make sure that you understand the process of getting started. Once you get started, you will more than likely, if you put in the work, well, obviously, yeah. I mean, if you continuously get started and you try and you work, don't just get started and haphazardly do anything that you're doing. Obviously, do what it is that you feel is necessary to do. What's going on, Corey? How you doing? How you doing, Ben? Thanks for hopping on. And Anna hopped on early. I don't know if Ben's still on here or not. But just remember to always do what you need to do. Julio, what's going on? How you doing? Always remember, an object at rest stays at rest. And that's where I was going. Oh, yeah, always be moving. So that's what I wanted to talk about is actually my group, the entrepreneurs that I've been interviewing in my group. I mean, if you have any idea, or if you have no idea, or even if you have some sort of idea, inclination of some business that you want to start, I actually interview business owners who actually started from where you were, started from the beginning where they had nothing and they actually grew their companies to 6 and 7 figures. So I interview those people in my group, interview those entrepreneurs in my group. And the thing about them is, you know, a lot of people talk about, you know, rich people, you know, millionaires, multimillionaires. They say that they are not down to earth people. They say that they are real stuck up. They say they're mean, they're arrogant and everything like that. But I have to tell you, the people that I've reached out to, I've probably only maybe gotten, you know, maybe 3 or 4 no's, and I don't even know if they were no's. Just some people never responded to me, so they never really directly just told me no. They kind of ignored me, but they did originally answer my message. But the thing is, the situation is, I mean, they are actually down there people. I mean, if you have any inclination just to get started, whatever niche you're in, whatever you want to go in, whatever, even if you're an employee wanting to learn how to move up in a company, I think that it would be very helpful for you, maybe even just not even, you don't even have to do this on a social media platform. You can just ask people what it is. Hey, Darius, how you doing? Darius Sherman just hopped on. How you doing, man? What's going on? Yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know that, you know, whatever it is that, you know, if you're an employee and you want to move up in the company, why would you not talk to, you know, your supervisor, ask them how to move up, interview your supervisor, interview your CEO if you can get in touch with them. Actually, well, my company was kind of smaller, the one that I just left from. And actually, you know, I had a talk with my CEO, kind of telling him, you know, what I was doing. I really didn't ask him for his advice or anything. You know, I was just kind of making sure that things were right, you know, before I left the company. Actually, I kind of told him 2 or 3 months in advance what I was thinking about doing and trying to do, you know, as far as my business and everything like that. So just be honest with people, let them know. But I mean, if you're trying to even just move up as an employee in your company, why would you not just talk to your supervisor and let them know, you know, what you want to do, that you want to move up in the company and what things you need to do? Because a lot of this stuff is actually, you internalize a lot of stuff. And that's what I had to realize as far as just listening and talking to other entrepreneurs, because they actually show you different different things that you really don't see, because they pretty much went through the same things and they've gone through the same things, and they can actually pull things out of you. And that's actually this book right here, Think and Grow Rich. Actually, Napoleon Hill. I don't know if he actually perfected the mastermind concept, but it's always good to have masterminds. Always have, other people to pull on, other people to think about. And I didn't realize you could see the plug in the background. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but let me kind of turn my camera this way. I don't know. Actually, it'll probably be this way. But now you can see the pictures on the wall. But anyway, just remember to get started. That's all that you need to do. Get started, and then always be moving. So once you get started, don't stop. Because, if you get started, what's the point of starting something that you don't want to finish? There was no point in starting. So, it was just useless. But, at least see it to completion. Some people say, well, you might as well, if you do get started, but you pretty much, play off of that. But once you get started, just keep moving. And then if you run into a roadblock, just pivot. I don't know if you guys have been watching the NCAA tournament. I'm really not a big Duke fan, but I wanted to see Zion Williams actually, move on, because he's actually he's actually from a city close to me. It's probably like maybe 30, 45 minutes away. Pretty much, I guess there's two other players in the NBA, or actually that went to the NBA, that actually got championships and rings actually from my area, Greenville, South Carolina. One was Kevin Garnett, and the other one was Shammond Williams. I'm pretty sure y'all probably heard of Kevin Garnett. I'm not sure if you heard of Shammond Williams or not, but actually Shammond Williams actually Kevin Garnett did too. Went to a high school that we actually played against. So that's pretty, I guess, interesting. And actually, I saw Kevin Garnett when I was in high school. He was, I guess he was in the NBA then, and then he came back and was watching his former high school team play. And actually, we were going in, and he was always been, one of my big fans or whatever. And he kind of just walked past me. But obviously, being in high school, being a teenager, you do not want to really, I guess, draw too much attention, because I don't know, man, you're just pretty, just trying to pretty much find yourself. And then if you, I guess, in my situation, or in the situation that I was in, or the group I was in, they really did not, I guess, well, I would have felt embarrassed if I jumped on Kevin Garnett. I would have thought that my teammates and stuff, because we're walking in, as a big, bad basketball team and everything like that. What's going on, Ryan? How you doing? So, thanks for hopping on. Hashtag live, hashtag replay, you're on replay. But yeah, actually, I actually hashtag NCAA March Madness. So since that's going on now, and since I'm talking about March Madness. But yeah, so Kevin Garnett, I actually met him. He was going in, but I really didn't want to jump on him and all that stuff. Actually, I met him another time too at another local college, university around here. Love the quote for this title. Yeah. Les Brown, yeah, actually, I was just listening to a motivational, inspirational YouTube video, and I wanted to hop on and share it with you guys. But so thanks for commenting, Ryan. And yeah, actually, I saw Kevin Garnett twice at actually, I saw him. Yeah, the first time was at a basketball game. And the second time, I saw him at Furman University, and he was playing. Actually, it was during the summer, pretty much just a pickup game. It was before he got MVP and all that stuff. But speaking of somebody that wants to be great, actually, I'll tell you his story. And because my parents actually went to school with his mom, and she kind of told his background, or either I might have heard this from himself, when he was telling his story. But he actually used to, unfortunately, Ryan says, unfortunately, I have to get back to cold calls. I was researching the gym on Facebook. Yeah, that's good, Ryan. Continue. Ryan is a prime example of somebody that just keeps moving. I remember not too long ago, he pretty much just got started in the SMMA world, and now you can see that he's actually continuously cold calling. So that's a hard thing to do. So obviously, yeah, he's been hung up on, maybe even cursed out. So he continues to keep moving. But with all those things, it makes your skin thick. But speaking of Kevin Garnett, he actually used to sneak out in the middle of the night and shoot basketball because that was his love, that was his dream. I mean, so not necessarily do you just have to get started, but remember you have to always put in the work. You got to put in the effort. Just because you have a particular talent, you might have the talent of actually, reaching out people, drawing the people. But the thing is, if you don't work on that talent and work on that goal, then it'll just be a talent. That's all it'll be. It will not be a great talent. You may not reach as many people as you can. You may not fulfill, your destiny. So, just remember, always continue to move and always continue to start things. Don't just start one thing. Obviously, start one thing. In order to accomplish many things, you have to start at least one thing. But remember that, just because you start one thing, it may not work. Continue to pivot and move to other areas of your life. So in order for you to be great, you have to get started. Have a good one.